Alright, what's up? PC Monk here with another Bitcoin video. Well, it's more like a market video. I forgot to. I usually used to put Dixie in it too, and SPX and Nasdaq. Anyway, now we're jumping into this after I showed the disclaimer, but to just say it, yesterday we made the right call or the wrong call. Which one should it be? I mean, I always talk about both sides, but me myself personally. Don't forget about the disclaimer, ding, ding, ding. But me, myself personally, I was looking for the top move. That didn't happen. We cleared the lows, came again around this area. Didn't completely lose it, so that there's hope here. I mean, there's hope. I mean, by hope, I mean the structure hasn't been broken. There's no hope in trading, anyhow. So we're trying to go up now slowly. I mean, Sydney picked it. Hong Kong, I'm sorry, Tokyo then pushed it a little bit. And then Hong Kong right now is kind of holding it above the 5 and 13 EMA over the 4 hours. So what do you expect right now? You expect to pump. You expect to move to clear out 1,000, 100,000, more than 100,000, you name it, wherever you want to go. Um, Still the same projection, basically. So we swept the lows, okay? We swept the lows. Now, this was a 1 hour, by the way. We could talk about it later. If you take a look at daily, look what happened on the daily. Let me remove these lines, these unnecessary ones. All right. We went below the 5 EMA, we came back. On the daily close, we held it. And that's the tricky part, right? Um, I woke up on the initial move on this, but I didn't TP on the longs that I had. This is the daily. Now, about the 1 hour on Bitcornio, you could see we're again coming above. First of all, 1 hour, we're above the 5 EMA. We're above the, sorry, we're above the 3 EMA. We're above, no, 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 no. I always make these mistakes. We're above the 5 EMA. We're above the 13 EMA, and the 13 and the 50 are crossing over. But that doesn't really matter because we're above the 5 EMA. Now, if we go above the side high, that's where we need to be. So what we essentially do here, we just did the debate dump on these kind of news, which I could have seen it coming, but I was so leaning into long that I didn't make anything from this dump. But anyhow, that's basically Bitcoin. You're still waiting for 100K or even above it. Now, USDT dominance, he did a nasty move yesterday, right? But guess what? we hit, we cleared this area. We cleared this volume imbalance, this sell side liquidity volume imbalance. We went for the next one. Guess what happened? We hit the bottom of the sell side liquidity volume imbalance and then a shower of blue. Now, the shower of blue probably will continue today if BTC wants to go up because we just look at this for confluence, but it is doing a swing within a swing. So this is your first swing. This would be your second swing. Probably going to end up here or even here. And then you're going to get that third swing that's going to make the main move. Could happen over New York, could happen over London. We could slowly come down. I mean, keep in mind, I think some alts will blow up right now. And the reason is some of them are suffocating, really suffocating. We're talking about TIA, we're talking about Doge, we're talking about Grass, we're talking about a lot of, but we jumped to that at the end. All right, so um, this would be Dixie. Oh, sorry, this would be USDT dominancy. All right, so in general, we're looking for something below 5%. Will it happen today? I don't know. I don't know. All right, it could come to 5% and hold it there, but I'm looking for a breakout of this 4 hour level into the lower side. Now it's either 4.85 or something in between. All right, last USDT. Now let's talk about what happened to the market. Did I talk about Nasdaq yesterday? I don't know if anybody watched through my video completely. Did I talk about Nasdaq? So basically, yesterday I lost 50 bucks. Trying to send USDT. I'm sorry, trying to send USDC instead I said USDT to a site, and I lost that. On top of that, I lost 120 bucks. 140 bucks in 3 days. So cumulatively, $246 were lost in 3 days. All right. But anyway, look at NASDAQ. A beautiful dump on the news, picked it back up. Now, only if I longed here, which I wanted to, and that's why I was sending that 50 bucks. Uh, I would have had a great move. But that didn't happen. But Nasdaq recovered. Now the reason why Nasdaq recovered was because of Meta earnings, which was yesterday, and Microsoft earnings. They both beat it, right? They both beat it. I don't want to go too much into these stuff. These are more fundamental. We're gonna try to have a bite out of everything in our TA, so it doesn't go fucking 1 hour long. Now SPX at the same time did the same thing. We dumped it. We picked it back up, and it's still roaming around this gap. The gap has been filled on a 4 hour. We do have another gap here, and this gap has been filled from there, but there's a new gap. So I'm gonna just mark this on the new gap right there. These are all CME gaps. Now on the daily, we had a gap right here which has not yet been filled. That is, I think, an important gap. Are we gonna fill it right now? I don't know. If you take a look at Nasdaq, Nasdaq is very close to its all-time high. All right, so what do you know? We might want to, do another liquidity grab or something. Is this pump normal? Well, there are some things changing in the economy, right? Like the deals are happening. Trump's are like, Trump's calming down a little bit from that, like, I say whatever I say and you guys have to do it. He's making deals with other countries. So I think, yeah, in general, we have a better chance to basically, get going and even BT and crypto. Now, let me check the liquidities. All right. Liquidity. I had to bring the page up first. So liquidity over the 24 hours, you can see on the model one, it's now coming to that to 96,000, 62 million on only this cluster, 95,866 going to get liquidated. Obviously, this is a lot here, right? If we go around, I would say 3 days, and we probably going to see way more coming in loaded. God damn it. There you go. Not much towards downside anymore right after this nasty move, right? I mean, it kind of hurts a little bit. Hurts my feeling that I didn't see this. Anyway, um, 95,829, 96,124. So basically, we're talking about cumulatively probably somewhere around 500 million about to get liquidated around 96,000 only. All right, now that's Model 1. Let's take a look at Model 3. Model 3 gives us more information about liquidation on a lower threshold. So I'm going to reduce this threshold after I zoom in to probably something like 668, something like that. You could see now the clusters are showing up, right? Even around 99,666 and 99,666. What a number. What a number. All right, now let's talk about the heat map, the map here. This is only on Binance, by the way. All right, I could put it. This is the 1 day. Around 97, as I mentioned, around 500 million about to get liquidated. Around 91, 528 million. Now, if we go to 7 days, and again, this is only Binance, okay? Around 97,000, 1.88 billion, around 91, 1.26, so more towards upside. Now, if I remove the 100x and the 50x's, these are the most important part for the market maker because 25x and 10x are those that put more money from their own pocket and use less leverage, right? So around 101, you're gonna have 2.32 billion. I think we're gonna go to 107 or somewhere around there. We'll talk about it in a moment. Now, this is the cumulatively liquidation on 3 exchanges. So around 99,000 is going to be 2.19 billion. Around 91, 826 is going to be 1.59 billion. Now, what about 7 days? This is most important. 6.6 billion around 97 for 7 days. You could see the big cluster around 95,000. And 91,000 is only 3.56. So basically 3 more billion if we get to 95,486 billion, right? So that tells us there's some liquidation towards the upside to be grabbed. Now yesterday, um, so the JPY, all right, policy rate didn't change. So Japanese, they didn't cut rates. They didn't do anything, all right? So they pushed the price up a little bit. Yesterday we had these news, which to me, this is embarrassing. This is so bad. This is very bad, right? And right now, what are we looking for today? We're looking for unemployment claims. Am I right? Is it today? Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, today. right? So if unemployment claims goes higher, then that's going to be problematic for the market. And obviously good for Jerome, but that will show that the market, the economy is collapsing, or is not collapsing, but it's shaken out. So they might have to cut rate on the next meeting. And obviously we got PMI too, and then we got this. If this reading is even higher too, then there's some real problem. But this is for Friday. This is for tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Now, I've been just looking at some, volume wise. I've been looking at some screeners, and I could see that the fart coin, bro, fart coin has been doing a lot, and then we got some more, but really, fart coin, bro. Let's just take a look at fart coin here. I mean, when I woke up over the Hong Kong, this thing was blasting through. Look at it. This thing was blasting through. Everything else was just slowly crumbling. This thing was blasting through. So, yep, this was the only one that had some volume while everything else was consolidating. With that being said, guys, I think we checked everything. Then we even checked the SPX and everything. Keep in mind that SPX has a direct correlation to BTC. So we're looking for this. We're looking for this range. On a 4 hour, by the way. I'm looking for this range. You know, this pink range and my pink line, which is 101 to 113. That's my target. Still is, although we cleared the liquidity. We'll see what happened today. And with that being said, I think I checked everything. Let me see. All right, we still need the footprint. I noticed that the loss is there, but that was for my stream. Whatever, I just took it off. So you could see when we were dumping, right? There were insane amount of buys happening. Take a look at this. Insane amount of buys happening on the footprint, okay? So this indicates as somebody was selling, a lot of people were buying at the bottom, by the way, not at the top, okay? So what happened is we had a little bit of, accumulation here, right? And then we're slowly now picking it back up. Right. This has been a long accumulation, right? If we take a look at it again on the footprint, where we are right now, we could see that there are some sells at the top trying to push the price down again, right? But at the same time, the bids are coming in every time to support it. You could see lots of bids here. These are tape patterns, big bids, all right? Now, we had some volume imbalance right here around 94,800. I mentioned it yesterday on the stream. We covered it today on Asia session. Now, what do we need? We need to wait for London after Hong Kong to see if they're gonna continue to push it up. And today is gonna be a green day after yesterday's debate. Now, with that being said, I think we covered everything. Thank you guys for watching. Exclamation mark Wix when you're on the stream, when you're coming to Twitch and everything like that. Use my referral link on the Wix. I'm going to put it down in the description if you want to get rich and have a high leverage account. 400x, 300x with the lowest amount of money required from yourself. So limitation is very low. No KYC, low fees. Obviously, no financial advice. It's just a good place to trade with. Exclamation mark Wix. Well, this is not the stream for an exclamation mark, but I'll put it down on the description. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay green, and stay healthy. That's the most important thing. Until next time, peace out.